part 2 of the original video about cutting a wooden nut out with a router. This is the finished product. So excited about this. All right, so ignore the thread cut. This is actually the gear that I had used. I call it the gear because it lined out the pitch that I wanted in my thread that I cut out with a razor blade. I showed you that jig earlier. But anyway, these are the threads on pine. Yeah, they're a little deeper than what most threads are, but I like the deep threads. I think they provide a lot more power, especially with such a soft wood. Very, very little chipping compared to what I've experienced with pine and other occasions. For instance, let's see if I have another one floating around. This garbage. Look at this. The same wood, but it is just completely just torn up, chipped out everywhere. Yeah, it's still turned, but I don't give it any strength. It feels really soft too. Really, quite a much finer thread than what I had going on before. This is just, it's beautiful, man. I'm so excited. So the jig that I used to get this is the nut that I showed you yesterday is now screwed in with that big lag bolt. I used the same legs for my previous jig, so the jigs are all connected. It's kind of a neat idea. I have a guide, which is just a hole drilled through a 2x4. And the other side, which happened to be, I guessed, and I got really lucky. The other side, this is the threads. I don't know if you can see the threads. There's some threads. All right, so the goal is you have a bit, which you probably can't see at all. It's a V-cut 90-degree bit that I ground down to make sure it was cut to a really fine point. And I have it lined up perfectly with a thread on the nut side. So what you do is you chamfer the edge of your nut like I did here. This looks really choppy. The chamfer I just did at my table saw really quick. And I push it in there, and then once it's lined up with the thread, since it's chamfered, it lines up with the thread of the nut that you have going on. And then eventually it just starts threading, and it's a little tight at first, but as time goes on, it looks really nice. I was really, really impressed with this. I suspect that I can make a whole bunch of bar clamps and maybe even some smaller devices. Previously, because I'm such a cheapskate, I had made this out of really chipped out threads too, with that stupid tool I described earlier that I just despise with all my heart. Can't seem to find it. It's the Grizzly. Here it is. Dowel threading, and just the blade chipped in the inside, and after a week's use, and I was like, this is just a poor design. I want something that spins, something I can finely cut it just a little bit at a time if I wanted to make sure it's nice fine threads. And it cut this too, which is pretty good. There's still some chips in it, but this is hardwood, for crying out loud. This dowel is, and I did softwood to make it look even better than that garbage. That is just, man, so good. Anyway, this is the vise that I made. One arm already broke off because I used softwood handle, but it works real good. I mean, you can clamp things down real tight, and things don't move. And I just don't get a lot of. I can't put out a whole lot of downward force on this because these are small dowels. They are hardwood, but even so, I would like to start creating 2 to 2.5 to 3 inch dowels. Of the same process. It's the exact same process I've already went through to make these 1 inch, which I want to do 1 inch first because I want to make bar clamps, because I want to start making some dang furniture. But for making vices and stuff, I think I'll definitely glue together some 2x4s and turn them on my table saw jig for making dowels, and then I'll make a large workbench with wheels, with all my equipment being able to fold up and fold down into it to make a flat surface or not. Man, I'm pumped. This is going to be such a fun project. I'm so glad this worked out, turned out so well, especially with how rigged I make it. This thing is just, the shim in there is all crooked, and oh my goodness, that's it.